digital football tournament here in Kazan. And after 7 days, it all boils down to this. Peñarol, representing Uruguay, will be facing off against FC Lokomotiv, representing Moscow and obviously Russia. Arguably, two of the best teams made their way to the finals, and if I might add, I do believe that Lokomotiv might have had the hardest possible path to the final. We'll see for yourselves. FC Lokomotiv began the tournament with a game against a Brazilian team, Tamo Junto. They beat Tamo Junto 4-3 in the digital, and they tied it 1-1 on the physical pitch for an overall score of 5-4. That's the way the tournament started for Lokomotiv. The only goal, in fact, they scored on the physical pitch was a very controversial goal off a set piece, and Tamo Junto team was complaining that there was a foul committed on the play prior to the ball going in, as we're getting re-familiar with Lokomotiv through this beautiful introduction. Then FC Lokomotiv went on to face another Brazilian team, Ardias team that's sponsored directly by Ronaldinho himself. They lost that game in the digital 5-4, but then stormed back to get a win on the physical pitch 3-1, and they got the win 7-6. One of the most exciting games at the tournament that was. In fact, that was the first game at the tournament where a team lost the digital part of the competition and still went on to win by the overall score. That's how Lokomotiv got directly into the quarterfinal stage, where they faced a very quick and very talented Chinese team from Guangzhou. They defeated them 8-1 in the digital, and they defeated them again 4-3 on the physical pitch for an overall win by the final score of 12-4. And that placed Lokomotiv in the semis, where they were up against another Russian team, Phoenix. They defeated Phoenix last night 7-3, and then tied it the game in the physical 1-1, giving them an 8-4 decision. As for Peñarol, which are being introduced right now, they're easily the most high-scoring team of the tournament. They kicked it off with a game against FTC Vista, a Russian-based team, but a team that featured a lot of players from several African countries. It was the youngest team of the tournament, and Peñarol just pumped them 8-1 in the digital and lost their only physical part of the game to FTC Vista. They lost that part of the game 5-3, but still went on to win the game 11-6. After that, Peñarol faced off against Beşiktaş, defeating the Turkish side 7-2 in the digital, and then beating them once again in the physical part of the competition 5-2 for an overall score of 12-4. That placed them directly in one of the quarterfinals as well, where they faced Team CMR, beating Cameroonian side 7-1 in the digital, and then beating them again in the physical 4-2. That gave them an 11-3 win, and a place in the semis, where they were matched up against Mexico Quetzales, obviously a Mexican team. Peñarol won that game in the digital 5-3 and tied it in the physical 2-2. That gave Peñarol a 7-5 victory overall, and a chance to compete for the grand prize here in Kazan. Quite a lot of cash is on the line. The winner of this game will receive $437,000. Second place will get just $200,000. Abel, Ufanik, Funky, and Klanov are going to play for FC Lokomotiv. All of these players are professional cyber athletes. As a matter of fact, they comprise the team called Tudrot, quite a household name in the world of FIFA in Russia. As for Peñarol, no surprises here either. Infinity, Nico, teacher, and reserve goalkeeper Gauna will compete for Peñarol. They are yet to lose a game in the digital, so it'll be really fun to see how Lokomotiv will match up against this really talented and absolutely great Peñarol team in the digital, as we're getting ready for the first half of the digital competition to commence. Notice how Lokomotiv side will put Daniil Abildayev in the digital part of the competition. He's one of the tallest players at the tournament. He will play for Lokomotiv on the physical pitch. He'll be their goalkeeper. And also keep an eye out on Anton Klonov. He'll be wearing number 11, but I'm not sure we're going to see him in the physical part, but he's one of the best players in the country when it comes to FIFA. A lot is on the line. The tension, you can definitely feel it. You can cut it with a knife even. Looks like we're all set for the first half of the digital part of the game to begin. As soon as we head into this green portal, it's going to be action time. And we're off. Both teams are obviously playing for Team Norway because that's the team to pick at the tournament has been. I do believe that there are probably just 4 occurrences when teams did not select Team Norway. In fact, Lokomotiv, in their very first game at the tournament, they played for Huddersfield, but then they switched to Norway nevertheless. Loko are wearing white, or rather, they're wearing red. And Peñarol are playing in white jerseys. Lokomotiv are trying to make something happen in the offensive side of the pitch. But Peñarol are defending well. We're 40 seconds into the game. No score so far, but Peñarol already had 2 decent scoring chances. Hitting the post on one of them. Peñarol playing it up the middle of the pitch, trying to dribble past 2 defensemen in a row. Unable to do that by the foul called on the play. Peñarol are back in possession. And minute is off the clock in the first half. Still no score. Peñarol playing it off the wall, playing it back to the defensive zone, trying to spread it out a little bit. They want to draw out the opposition to their side of the pitch to create some room up front. A long pass in front, and it's intercepted by Loko. 2-on-1 developing for the Russian side, but a great tackle by Peñarol, and they get the ball back. Now it's a 2-on-1 developing the other way. Nice move down low, but it's not followed by a shot, and Lokomotiv are able to clear the ball, but they give it up immediately. What a mistake by Lokomotiv, and they concede the first goal of the game. That was just a wrap gift for Peñarol. We didn't have to do much on that last play to get a goal. Bad giveaway for Lokomotiv, and that's the only difference between the 2 teams right now as it currently stands. Peñarol 1, Lokomotiv nothing. Loko looking for the equalizer, and they get it. They get it right back, I believe, just 20 seconds later after they conceded that really poor goal. They completed beautiful passing play down low and kicking the ball top shelf. No chance for the goalkeeper. Peñarol back in possession, playing it back to the goalkeeper. Shaving off a few seconds off the clock and giving up the ball in the middle of the pitch. Loko with another strike, and it's 2-1 Loko now. They turn it around. After a really bad giveaway in front of the net, Loko scored the next 2 goals. And they're up by 1. We're in the final minute of the first half. I don't believe Peñarol were ever down in the digital part of the competition here in Kazan. This might be the very first occurrence. Loko with another shot, and a great save made by Peñarol goalkeeper, who keeps it out. Loko will get the next possession. Putting a few passes together in the offensive side of the pitch, playing it down low, and another goal for Loko. It's 3-1 now. Beautiful play. Great pass from the corner. The goalkeeper goes one way, and the ball goes in a very different direction. Into the back of the net it goes, and that gives Loko a 3-1 lead here late in the first half of the digital part of the game between Peñarol and Lokomotiv. Lokomotiv stealing the ball, but a foul was made on the play. Peñarol with a chance to get a goal back, and they do. They do get a goal back. Just 1 point separating the 2 teams now. Loko will get what looks like, what might be, the last possession of this first half. Just 10 seconds on the clock. Loko will be probably playing it smart, not forcing anything, and trying to get just one final shot, but that they're not going to get it. The time runs out, and after the first half of the physical part of the game, it's Lokomotiv 3, Peñarol 2. A very tight battle, and we expected nothing less. The two teams definitely worth of each other. We expect it to be a great game of Phygital football, and that's exactly what we're getting. Both teams need to swap their players now. Looks like Funky and Klonov will be playing for Lokomotiv. That's exactly the case. Abil and Ufenuk give up the game pass to their teammates. Klonov is the one with the fuzzy hair. He's easy to recognize, no matter where he stands or sits for that matter. Now as for Team Peñarol, Gauna and Tinchu will take the game pass from Infinity and Nico. Tinchu will be wearing number 7 in the physical part of the competition, and I'm not sure if we're going to see a lot of him. He seems to be the first choice when it comes to substitution for Peñarol. And Nicolas Martinez, he'll be wearing number 15. We're going to be seeing quite a lot of him, as a matter of fact, when the game goes into the physical part. After the first half, it's Loko 3, Peñarol 2. And to get here to the games of the future in Kazan, Lokomotiv had to win a tournament called Path of Champions, an all-Russian tournament, sort of qualifier for the Phygital games in Kazan. They defeated Rotor International in the final game 7-6. Rotor International also competed here in Kazan, but they got eliminated early. Quite surprisingly too. They didn't get a straight path to the quarterfinals, so they had to play in the round of 16, and they lost to Cameroon, and they lost badly, 9-2 in the digital. That was all the difference in the game. Even though Rotor International went on to win the physical part of the game 4-3, that was not enough, and they lost that game 12-6. We're back in the digital world. Second half just kicked off. Loko get the first possession, and it doesn't look like they're going to rush it. Loko is kicking it around at midfield, playing it back to their goalkeeper, who goes to his left. Loko are yet to give up a ball in this possession, but not much is happening for them offensively. We're 35 seconds into the second half. And now Loko with the first strike of the half, it gets blocked, and Peñarol will grab the ball and commence their offense. Peñarol playing it down low. It's intercepted by two separate players on Lokomotiv for developing an offensive rush, playing it across the field, playing it to his right again. Another shot is taken. This one, I believe it goes off the wall. It never made its way onto the net. Peñarol on the counter, attempting a strike, hitting the crossbar. Peñarol were really close to getting the equalizer. They were close again now. 3 chances for Peñarol in a row, and they score on one of them, tying this game at 3 goals apiece. About half of the second half is gone now. Lokomotiv losing the second half 1-0. Still trying to draw out the position, not being very successful at that. So they go back to their goalkeeper and reset the play. For my money, I would say that Loko are very interested in winning the digital part of the game, because Peñarol seem to be possibly the best team when it comes to the physical side of the competition. Under a minute remaining now in the second half. Loko are not forcing anything. just wasting time, really. But when so much money is on the line, who would blame them? You don't want to take any chances. 40 seconds on the clock now. Loko are still in possession, and Peñarol are not really pressuring them that much in their side of the pitch. Loko still in the defensive end, trying to dribble past Peñarol players. They finally do, but they give up the ball on that possession. And it was 20 seconds on the clock. It's Peñarol who are in the attacking mode. Taking a shot, it gets stopped. Great save by Lokomotiv goalkeeper. 10 seconds on the clock now. Looks like Peñarol will get the last possession in this game if they won't give up the ball. It's in the corner now. Loko with it, and the time runs out. So after 2 halves completed in the digital part of the competition, we're all tied up. It's a 3-3 game right now, and it will have to be decided on the physical pitch. The digital part of the final game of the Phygital football tournament here in Kazan is in the books, and there's nothing separating the two teams after that digital part. 3-3 is the score. Lokomotiv are playing against a team from Uruguay, Peñarol. And Peñarol appear to be one of the best, if not the best team when it comes to the physical part of the game. But if you look at the stats, Lokomotiv are actually a team to beat, because they tied their first game against Tamajun to 1-1 in the physical. They beat another Brazilian team, our DS team, 3-1 in their second group stage game. That placed them directly in the quarterfinal. Then Lokomotiv defeated a very good and rather quick Chinese side from Guangzhou 4-3, and then they tied it last night against Phoenix 1-1. So no losses for Lokomotiv. And as for Peñarol, they were beaten by FDC Vista, another Russian team, 5-3 in their tournament opener, but that didn't matter in their overall count of things, as Peñarol won that game 11-6. Then they beat Besiktas 5-2 in their second group game, earning a place in the quarterfinals. Then Peñarol beat Team CMR 4-2 again in the quarterfinals. And last night, as they faced off against Mexico Quetzales team, they also tied it, just like Lokomotiv against Phoenix, but the score in the game between Peñarol and Quetzales was 2-2. So both of these teams didn't win the physical part of their games yesterday, but one team must win tonight. The teams will be all even Steven on the board again after these two 5-minute halves. We will proceed to a series of penalty kicks, but maybe we won't have to. We're up in their third quarter or first half of the Phygital, of their rather physical part of the game. Peñarol get the first possession. Picante, who's wearing number 9, is with the ball, one of the better players on Peñarol. We got used to calling him Picante, but his actual name is Brandon Diaz Reyes. He's on the ball right now, playing it to his left. Gama stealing the ball from Martinez, playing it back to Biryukov. Biryukov playing it back to Gama. Gama playing it to Gudaev. Gudaev picking up some steam as he heads down the right flank, gets down low, passes it to Stepanov, and Stepanov opens up the scoring. Just 46 seconds into the game, Alexander Stepanov, nicknamed Style, puts Loko in the lead. It's 4-3 now. Great start for Lokomotiv as they grab a quick lead. Unreal play by Gudaev to split the D and get the ball to Alexander Stepanov, who showed no mercy on that play. Followed by a really great celly too. There seems to be some confusion about the kickoff. Peñarol kick it back into play. We're about a minute into the first half. Loko just scored. First strike attempt by Peñarol, and this one goes wide of the net, so Abildaev will resume the play. He rolls it to Gama. Gama plays it up the field for Gudaev, who gets pinned to the wall. He's up against Picante, still taking a shot from a really poor angle. And now something appeared to have happened behind the play, and Gudaev gets a yellow card. He's had 2 at the tournament. That's his 3rd yellow. It would appear that it's for this shove that Gudaev got booked. But like I said earlier, a lot is on the line. A lot of money is definitely on the line. Not to mention bragging rights. So we may expect to see more of that. Picante will kick the ball back into play. He plays it to Agustin Moreira. Back to Picante. Back to Moreira. Moreira, he's got Martinez to his left, but he goes for a long ball to his right. It's almost intercepted by Stepanov. As Peñarol player goes down on the ground. That's their captain, Jorge Marcelo Rodriguez Nunez, wearing number 10. He played 7 games internationally for Team Uruguay in regular football format. Almost made it to the 2010 World Cup in South Africa. Ricardo Catardo taking a shot, and Abildaev is right where he needs to be, making a save. Gama with the ball, also known as Gamit Shakbanov. Now Birukov playing it to Gudaev. Gudaev dribbling plus his defenseman, playing it back to Birukov. Birukov got Catardo in front of him. Catardo steals the ball, plays it up front, and it's given away by Peñarol. It looks like there's going to be another yellow card given out by the ref. This one goes to Shakbanov. Now remember, you get 2 yellow cards just in regular football. You get a red card as well, and you're out of the game. But unlike in regular football, you can be subbed up for another player. This is getting emotional and fast. We're not even 2 minutes into the first half. We already got 2 bookings, a goal, and a lot of arguments. And Gama actually, he does have a point. That did look like a headbutt by Brandon Diaz-Reyes, but it was overlooked by the ref. And now Picante will attempt a shot straight from the free kick, and it sails over the bar. Loko can exhale now. They will get the next possession. Rolling it to Gama. Gama across the field to Stepanov. Stepanov gets clipped from behind. And this time around, it's going to be Picante who's going to get a yellow. 3 yellow cards already. We're not even 2 minutes into the opening half. We just might see a few players sent off before the time runs out, even in the first half. Gudaev gets shoved off the ball. He battles for it against Picante. And now Gama with a short tug. He's already on a yellow card, and he gets another yellow card. So he's going to get red, and he's out. I believe I said about 4 seconds ago that we might see a red card before the time runs out here in the opening half, and that's exactly what we're seeing. Loko lose one of their key players. So he's going to have to be replaced by one of the cyber athletes. I mean, it is a clear foul. I don't think that the referee had any other options. It had to be a yellow, and it's a second straight yellow for Gama. So he's sent off, and Peñarol get a free kick in a very dangerous spot. A few seconds ago, Picante attempted a long shot, but missed the net. But this free kick is even more dangerous. There's a lot of talking, not a lot of action right now on the pitch. Stepanov just continues arguing. He might get a yellow card just for that. A really long pause as Biryakov tries to get a clarification on one thing or another. Finally, a two-man wall is set up for Loko. Picante plays it to his right for a shot by Ricardo Catardo. His shot got blocked. Now Martinez in possession. Martinez to Catardo. Catardo with a long strike, and it sails over the bar. And Biryakov got booked as well. And looks like Gudayev also gets his second yellow card of the game. And if that's the case, he's out too. Lokomotiv are running out of players, and fast. We're not even at the halfway point of the first half here. Looks like Loko are out of substitutions. They only got Klonov left, and he's a cyber athlete. A foul called on the play, and another yellow card. This one goes to Stepan Mihovic, also known as Funky. He's a cyber athlete. It's going to be tough for him out there, especially after getting a yellow card so early. So Gudayev is booked. Biryakov is booked. And now Mihovic is booked as well. I believe Alexander Stepanov might be the only player, except for the goalkeeper, Daniil Abeldayev, who is not booked on Lokomotiv. That definitely gives a lot of advantage to Peñarol, and they strike right back. Long shot by Picante, and it beats Abeldayev. Definitely not the best play we've seen by Abeldayev at the tournament. Picante finding some room in the offensive territory, using Alexander Stepanov as a screen and just rolling it past Abeldayev, who couldn't stop that low shot. Even Steven on the board again. It's 4-4, still in the first half of what has proven to be a great final to watch. Definitely a very emotional game is underway here in Kazan. Martinez with the ball. Gudayev kicks it into the corner, and now it's out of play. Looks like it went off a Peñarol player, so Loko will get possession now. Rolling it to Stepanov. Stepanov to Biryakov, to Gudayev. Gudayev is pinned to the corner, so he opts to choose his goalkeeper, who goes to the left flank for Funky. Funky is unable to connect on that last play, and Loko give up the ball. Catardo dragging the ball to midfield. He's wide open in the middle of the field, but he's not getting the ball back. And now it's intercepted by Biryakov. Great read on that last play. And now it's Hapau taking a shot off the crossbar. Would you believe it? He was inches away from going in. Great strike by Hapau. And now Picardo taking a shot, and Picante scores again. That's his second of the game. And Peñarol are back in the lead. They did not lead. They did not have a lead in this game after the first half of the digital part. But now they have a narrow lead with that last strike by Phygital, who read the play well and got it past Abdeldaev with a quick shot from the corner. Excellent execution. Phygital has two, and Peñarol are back in the lead. A minute and 15 seconds remaining on the clock now. Stepanov on the ball, or rather Birukov. Birukov looking for Stepanov. Still holding on to the ball, now playing it to Rudaev. No foul is going to be called on that last play. Stepanov with the ball. And he gets stripped off it. Now Catardo playing it to Martinez. Now to Phygital. Phygital. Funky is up against him. Phygital makes it look easy, going for another shot, and this one gets blocked. Agustin Moreira now on the ball. Playing it to Martinez. Martinez to Phygital. Back to Martinez it goes, but Gudaev read the play well. Now offensive rush developing the other way. Stepanov taking a shot. It gets blocked by Martinez. Martinez, or rather Hapo, playing it to Phygital. Peñarol are definitely picking up the pace now. Martinez to Phygital. Looks like they got their own section of fans just cheering them on. Another shot, and this one is not in. It goes back into play off the post. Phygital almost got a hat trick in the first half. There's still a couple of seconds remaining on the clock, but Phygital is not attempted. Another shot, and after the first half of the physical part of the game, it's Peñarol 5, Lokomotiv 4. Finale of the Phygital football tournament here in Kazan. Lokomotiv are up against
I only had to smile.
Peñarol have a very slim lead, but they are taken into the second half. This is the physical part of the game, and boy, has it been physical. Lokomotiv already got one of their players sent off after getting 2 straight yellow cards. It was Gamit Shakbanov who got a red card, so we won't be seeing any more of him today. And 3 players that are currently on the field for Loko are also booked. Gudaev is on the yellow card. Stepan Mikhovic wearing number 9. He's also on the yellow card, and Kirill Birukov wearing number 2. He was booked in that first half as well. But keep in mind that Loko are yet to lose a game when it comes to the physical part of things here in Kazan. With 40 seconds in, Peñarol taking the ball to Ricardo Catardo. He plays it back to Hapo. Now to Phygital. Phygital, 4 pass. Gudaev intercepts it, plays it to Stepanov. Stepanov off the wall looking for Birukov. Unable to connect. Abdeldaev rolls it to Gudaev. Gudaev up through the middle to Birukov. Birukov, he goes to the ground hard, and there's going to be a penalty. There's going to be a free kick called on the play. Ricardo Catardo definitely clips Birukov in the right shin. So Lokomotiv will get a very good chance to get the equalizer. We've seen a number of these free kicks end up with goals at the tournament, and Loko definitely is right now. Looks like Birukov is gonna be the one taking it. The dive falls to the ground, and it goes to Funky, and his shot got blocked. Birukov on the ball again. Birukov taking the matters into his own hands, or legs if you would prefer it this way. Gudaev kicks it back to Stepanov. Stepanov finds a wide open Funky. Funky goes for the shot. It gets blocked, but stays in play. Birukov battles for it, kicks it back to Funky. Another shot, and it gets blocked again. And now Phygital is on the ground. Something appears to be wrong with the man who scored both goals for Peñarol in the physical part of things here in the final. Really not that surprising. He's one of the best players of the tournament, and he's a 5-time Fútbol champion back in Uruguay. So Peñarol were able to shave off about 90 seconds from the clock. Every possession matters now for Lokomotiv. But they give up the ball easily. And now it goes out of bounds. Abildaev. Look at all that pressure by Peñarol. They know exactly what they're doing. Forcing Lokomotiv to make hasty plays, and they get the ball back. Martinez, actually Hapo is wide open, taking a shot from in front of the net. Unable to hit the 5x2. Abildaev rolls it to his left to Stepanov. Stepanov plays it to Birikov. He's under heavy pressure by Hapo. Birikov played it to Abildaev. It looked like it almost went in. Almost as if it crossed the goal line, but apparently not completely. Stepanov with Gudaev. Gudaev playing it to Stepanov. Stepanov is unable to convert on this great scoring chance. And Loko miss out on the great opportunity to get the equalizer. Under 3 to go now in the second half. Picante plays it to Catardo. Catardo, one of the beach soccer players on this Uruguayan side. Great save made by Abildaev. Putting everything on the line there to make the save. Birikov with the spinorama move, playing it to Stepanov. Stepanov goes for the shot. A great save made by Agustin Moreira. There's 2:20 on the clock. Ricardo Catardo on the ball now. Catardo plays it back to Martinez. Martinez to Hapo. Poor pass attempt by Hapo, and handball is going to be called on the play with 2:09 remaining on the clock. It looks like Lokomotiv called timeout. Well, it's a great time for that. Not a lot of time remaining to play in the second half. Let's hear what the players have to say. Well, I definitely heard Tranquilla thrown around quite a bit. That would mean calm down, calm down. That's exactly what Peñarol need right now. They need to calm it down a little bit. Just manage the game. And if they can hold on to for just over 2 minutes, really, they will win the grand prize of the tournament, which is once again $437,000. The loser of this game will get $200,000. We're about to resume following that timeout called by Lokomotiv. Peñarol still have their timeout available to them. Two-man wall in front of Kirill Birikov. Will be taking the free kick. He plays it to Stepanov. Stepanov back to Birikov. Birikov goes for a quick shot. It gets blocked. Catardo trying to split the D with his pass, and it's intercepted by Stepanov, who slows things down a little bit. Plays it to Gudaev. Gudaev. That's almost like a basketball play, like a pick and roll play there by Lokomotiv. Gudaev battling for the ball against Catardo. Now Stepanov. Back to Gudaev. Gudaev with a long ball in front, looking for his teammate. Not finding anybody there. And now great shot by Peñarol. That was Hapo. And a better save made by Daniil Abildaev. Possibly the best save we've seen in this game. Now Birikov is down on the ground after that last collision with Hapo. Birkov definitely feels it. Something appears to be wrong with his, I'd say, shoulder. But he needs to get back on his feet because Lokomotiv are out of substitutions. It's a do-or-die situation here for Lokomotiv as they're looking for that late equalizer that would send us into a series of penalty kicks. Birkov appears to have walked it off. He plays it to the right, giving up the ball on that free kick. And Peñarol score with 81 seconds on the clock. A really poor pass made by Birkov following that collision with Hapo. And Peñarol are now up by 2. This might be the end for Lokomotiv. They do not have a lot of time. Not sure what happened on that last play. Just miscommunication with Stepanov. Birkov was trying to get the ball to Style. But Style appeared to have other ideas considering the play. He went in another direction, and that made it a lot easier for Peñarol to steal the ball. And they scored off that turnover. Gudaev battles for the ball with Funky in the corner. Martinez plays it to Hapo. Hapo to Picante. Picante is under a lot of pressure. Funky is battling for the ball hard. He's on the yellow card already. Looks like Peñarol will get the free kick following that last play. A lot of heated exchanges out there on the pitch right now. But it ends with a handshake, as it should. Under a minute to go in the final game of the Phygital football tournament in Kazan. Picante with a long ball and goes straight to Abeldaev, who had to stay sharp on that play. He plays it to Birkov. Birkov to Gudaev. Gudaev looking for Stepanov. He's got him at the right flank. Now Birkov is making a run. And now Gudaev is making a run. Stepanov plays it to Birkov. 30 seconds on the clock, and they get a goal back. Beautiful strike by Kirill Birkov. And he makes it a one-goal game again. Just about 30 seconds on the clock. Peñarol will get possession now. And it's still their game to lose. If they can just manage the game well, if they can spread it out and waste a bit of time, they will be crowned as winners of the tournament just 30 seconds later. Picante taking a shot, missing the net, but Hapo is going to be the first man on the rebound. He battles against 2 Lokomotiv players. 15 seconds remaining on the clock now. Picante goes down on the ground with Gudaev. It's intercepted by Birkov. Birkov plays it to Stepanov. Under 10 to go in the game. Birkov off the wall to Stepanov. Stepanov, beautiful move, but he loses the ball, and Peñarol will go on to win it. Peñarol are the champions of the 2024 Phygital football games in Kazan. What a game. They were tied 3-3 after the digital part, and it was just one goal that separated the two teams in the physical side of things. And in fact, it was the goal of that turnover when Birkov gave up the ball. Either way, it's Peñarol 6, Lokomotiv 5.
And physical football, to me, they sound separate, but they managed to fuse them, didn't they, beautifully in Kazan. So I think it's been a great success, and let's just enjoy the ceremony here And the trophy that they've been after for the last 2 weeks, they said they weren't coming over from Uruguay not to win. And here we are, success in their hands, and $437,000.
Campeones, that's who they are.
You think they'd won the World Cup, wouldn't you, looking at that?
Right.
In their minds they have, why not?
I even want to stay silent just to listen to them singing. It's the thing of beauty. Look, Latin American football is on the rise. Argentina winning the World Cup now. In the inaugural games of the future, Uruguayans are taking the trophy home, and a lot of money as well. So, great stuff. I mean...